we're going to do the last two of the fly movements, the straight arm movements. And again, technically, or more generally speaking, when you're in a gym, the fly movements are the chest fly and the reverse fly, where you're pulling the weight back toward your back. And so you've got the chest flies and the reverse flies. But I'm also calling the forward pull down a fly the forward raise up, where the resistance is coming from underneath a fly. And now we're going to do the last two, which is the side flies. So we're going to do the side pull down fly, and then we're going to do the side rise flies. So we're going to do rise from the side, and we're going to call that a fly because it's a straight arm exercise. So I've got the anchor set up above my head for this exercise, and to start it off, we're going to be facing two different directions. We're going to be facing away from the anchor to start off, and actually we're going to turn around, and I'll show you how we do this. If I were going to start, this is the side pull down fly. So it's as if I were in a gym and I were pulling the resistance down from above my head, which is what we're doing here. Now to start off, if I were just facing away from the anchor or sideways to the anchor, but the arm that I'm working is on the opposite side from where the anchor is, I'm going to go ahead and just move my body around so that I can see while I'm doing this, but I just want to make sure that you understand the orientation would be the anchor is on the side of my body that's away from the arm that I'm working to start off this first range of motion. So the first range of motion is just coming down to about a third of the way down through this entire movement. And again, we're going to be working with a resistance that once you get to this point, you could keep going on down, but when you get to this point, the tube's just flopping up and down. You're no longer getting that pull away from where the anchor is. So we're going to be working on a resistance that I can go ahead and pull on down to this point, but I don't want to go further than where the tubes are stretching, where they're just flopping, but I don't want to be so far away where I can't really get a full range of motion either. So I just have to understand I'm going to be working with a resistance that I can go ahead and pull on down just about to the point where the tubes start to flop, and then do the eccentric 3 count coming back in. So I'm going to be doing the 4 counts as I do these exercises. So here's the first of the 3 ranges of motion starting off up above. So here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4. And again, I'm doing 10 of these. Do whatever you feel like you're capable of doing for these 3 sets. Now here's where the direction really comes into play here, because if I were facing away from the anchor for that first range of motion, now I'm going to turn around where the arm that I'm working is on the same side of the anchor, and you can see my hand is right where I finished off. In this first set, I was coming down to about here, and now as I come back around for the second set, I turn around, and now the anchor is on the same side as the arm I'm working, and my hand is starting off at about the same place that I finished off on that first set, and now we're going to come on down through the next third of the range of motion. So I'm going to go ahead, and again I'm going to have enough resistance, and here again there could be some slack at the end of it. You have to have the self-discipline and the focus as you come back up to not let a lot of slack develop to where you're not having resistance at the end of those 3 counts coming back through the eccentric range of motion. So here's the second range of motion, the second set on this one side of the body. I'm going to come down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Beautiful day out here today.
It is lovely.
Okay, so now for this last set, we're going to be finishing off through the range of motion, which is going to be actually crossing the body. And again, this is something that's really difficult to do if you were somehow working out with some sort of a system where you were trying to pull weight from down from above your head. So in this one, I'm going to go ahead from where I was stepped out here, and I'm going to go ahead and step on in a little bit closer where I can actually be crossing my body. And again, in that last one, you noticed that I made a little bit of an adjustment, and always be aware and open to going ahead and moving a little further away, a little closer to where the anchor is at any point in the exercise to make the resistance a little easier, a little bit more difficult. So here we go through this last range of motion, which is going to be crossing the body a little bit, coming down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 6, 2, 3, 4, 7, 2, 3, 4, 8, 2, 3, 4, 9, 2, 3, 4, 10, 2, 3, 4. And again, you need to keep the focus so that you're not letting the resistance move all the way back into a completely slack range as you're returning through that eccentric range of motion. You still want there to be some resistance when you start that next movement. So there you go. Again, running through this real quick. To start off, you want the resistance coming from the opposite side of my hand here to be resisting the sideways motion. So to start off, I face away from the anchor to go through that first range of motion. Then I turn around so that now the side of my body I'm working is on the same side as the anchor, and I go ahead and I get far enough away where I can pull through that second range of motion, and then I step in just a little bit to go ahead and cross the body a little bit for that last range of motion. And again, whatever you do on one side of the body, you're then going to want to switch hands and do the opposite side of the body as well. So there's the side overhead pull-down fly for you to try out. And when you do these flies, if you do the front pull-down fly, the front rise fly, you're doing the chest fly and the reverse fly or the back fly, and then you do these two along with your bicep curls and tricep extensions and maybe a little bit of forearm exercise, and you've got a complete upper body workout for that day.